What's going on YouTube? Hitterback making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Bitcoin Cash to USD. We'll also be looking at the coin market cap and really discussing what exactly is going on in the market. I know we saw a little pull to the upside today, and I do want to discuss and clarify as to why that may have happened and what did I do about it, or what am I going to do about it. I know I've been getting a lot of questions in the comments as to were you supposed to sell out, buy, blah, 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 blah. Things of that nature. So we're going to cover that in today's episode. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. This way I know you guys are going to like the content, and I'll see you after this. So as you guys can see, we're on the current coin market cap, and there are a couple of things to take notice of. Number one, Bitcoin dominance 55.1%. The next thing to take note of is 24-hour volume 58%. So I'm seeing Bitcoin dominance actually much higher than we were yesterday. 24-hour volume is much higher than yesterday, and so is the market cap. So all in all, money is moving into exchanges. Volume is moving into exchanges, and it's making the prices higher. It is easily reflected when we scroll down. You'll notice out of the top 10 cryptos, only one is in the red, and that is Binance Coin, only down by 0.08%. Really nothing to be too worried about. It actually took the leap a little bit earlier than the rest of the market did, so that's kind of why Binance Coin is stabilizing and trading out. Litecoin is still in the number 5th spot, so freaking close to Bitcoin Cash. I do think we're going to break out of that, but they're both, good coins in terms of trading positions. I know we can get really in depth in terms of their community and what they stand for, but we're looking at them as of right now in terms of how their charts look and whether or not it's wise to invest in. EOS number 6, but coins are up like I'd say 5 to 6%. It only seems to be Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and EOS that are really taking off today. There are some other ones, Cosmos double digit 10% for the most part, but otherwise I'd say 4 to 5% are we seeing on average across the board. Otherwise, let's jump into the charts. So as you can see, let me pull up Litecoin really quick. All right, so let's discuss Litecoin, because this is definitely some interesting things to point out. So currently we're looking at Litecoin on the daily charts. This is Litecoin to US dollar on the daily. And remember, we bought and sold at a very interesting price. So for those of you who don't remember what we sold it at, just a quick refresher, definitely recommend downloading this. This will be our virtual trading platform. The best way for beginners to really, get involved and understand the crypto market without actually having to risk anything. As you guys saw, we bought in at $68.89. We sold at $73. We made a profit of $609. Now we're waiting for the next time to buy in. So as you guys can see, there's some very key things to pay attention to. So for one, we're starting to see a potential uptrend. Do I think it's going to hold? No, but we need a third confirmation where then we can draw that, that uptrend line. The things I want you guys to take note of is one really strong thing that stands out to me is we finally broke this purple uptrend. That's going to be huge for the market. So the fact that we broke this uptrend means that we're finally back in. So it's a little more predictable as to where we can go. The other thing we need to take some very close attention to and remember is there is a resistance at $80, and as you guys can see, it has been a very strong one at that, not only as a support but a resistance as well. So with that in mind, when I did see this breakout, yes, it would have been nice to have held out from 72 to cash out at 78, but here's the problem. The problem is 80 does seem to be a resistance for this coin. It showed it in the past, and it's showing it right now. So FOMO is what you guys have to be aware of, and a lot of people choose to buy in once it starts to see green, and then what happens is they buy in right at the top. We pull all the way back down, and all they see is a red market. That's what we're trying to avoid. We buy the dips, we don't buy the bulls runs, especially when we would have gotten in at the top. So here's what we're going to do. There's a couple of things we want to pay attention to. I want to zoom into the 4-hour really quick, then we'll shimmy our focus to the rest of the altcoins. You can see we are extremely oversold. No, sorry, we're extremely overbought, which means, for those who don't know, the market has been injected with volume, so much so on the 4-hour that we are way too overextended and we need to come back down in terms of price. So the fact that we're way too overextended here means we need to pull back down. And where would we pull back down to? It would be either our high-low middle moving average, which I doubt. It'll probably be something like this. and then we could even, break up higher. So with that in mind, we have to pay close attention and understand that if indeed we do start to pull back down and get back into a more neutral level, this would potentially be a good buying zone. So that's kind of what I want to point out right now. Let me shift over to the daily. So that's what I'm saying. So we're going to keep a very close eye on where this market is going, and we're going to see whether or not we're going to buy into Litecoin right at around 76, potentially higher. And I'm going to explain my concern in a second as to why we may hold off a little bit longer, and it's going to be because of Bitcoin. As we know, when Bitcoin takes major hits, the rest of the market does get affected, and we may be seeing that within Bitcoin. So as you guys know, I did sell my position in my virtual trading platform. First link in the description, remember. And we're waiting for the next opportunity to buy back in. I'm a conservative trader. I wait for the best moments to buy in where I minimize risk. This is definitely not one of those times. As I shift our focus now to the daily charts for Bitcoin, here's something I want to point out. So as you guys can see, we're on Bitcoin's daily, and we do seem to have a smaller uptrend. Now, I do want to give a huge shout out before I jump into Bitcoin to all those who have become a patron sponsor on my Patreon. We have literally 25 people already, which is absolutely phenomenal, mind-blowing. Basically, Patreon is a way to access all of my, charts exclusive to Patreon. Basically, all these live updating where every line I draw, you guys get to see that line too. Prior to anybody on YouTube, you can actually have them, edit them, draw on it too. You get all of this on Patreon, and it does help support the channel, but it is growing so freaking fast that eventually, very soon, I will be doing a giveaway on Patreon as well, so I highly recommend you check that out. I believe it's the second link in the description. But as you guys can see, we do have a purple uptrend here, and I did just start to draw one right here. Here's my concern for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is now once again back nearing overbought. We just entered the overbought market. So do I think we're going to go higher? It's possible. You can see what we did before. This major run could definitely happen again here. Now, I do want to take our focus now. This was back on April 2nd. So let's take a look at April 2nd on the 4-hour and see how that panned out. So April 2nd was right here. And you can see we were nearing, so here's my concern of why it's not going to happen again, or why I don't think it's going to happen again. So you can see after we shot up here, we were already trading quite high, and then we shot up. I don't think we're going to go much higher because when we were here, we were overbought, extremely overbought. We're currently at that same level of overbought, but the run has already taken place. That's why I don't think we're going to go much higher. I do think we're going to pull back down. I think there's a big resistance on 5,800. I think we've already seen this little hiccup in Bitcoin and the rest of the market. But the fact that we're overbought on Bitcoin's 4-hour, the fact that we're overbought on Bitcoin's daily is an indication for me that I'm kind of going to play a conservative route right now and wait for some more consolidation before I can see a better opportunity to buy into. Once I see that opportunity, I will let you guys know. But I do think consolidation is needed at the current moment. Yes, it was a beautiful run, but what did this confirm for us? It has shown us that there are levels to pay attention to. So if indeed we ever get back to here, potentially here, those would be some good buying opportunities for us to then rally up higher. Now, moving on to Ethereum, let's get rid of these. I had to reload Chrome, so that's why this is all filled with ads. But as you guys can see, we are slowly shifting away on Ethereum's daily. We do still look okay. Don't get me wrong. We do look okay. We're nowhere near overbought on Ethereum's daily, so that does give us potential to move higher. Let's check out the 4-hour really quick. So 4-hour is overbought. You can see it's very close to not only its high-low MMA, but this yellow support line. You can see the green band is about to cross over the red, indicating a golden cross. But I do think consolidation is needed. It's tough. This was a huge resistance. You can see numerous occasions where we've tested it, had an issue, tested it, had an issue, tested it, had an issue, acted as support, acted as support. So it's a pretty darn big support level. So there's definitely a good chance we could either consolidate back down. Here's another thing I just noticed, guys. This is going to be big as well. Check this out for Ethereum. So Ethereum's now going to be on my radar. I just discovered this, that there is a symmetrical triangle forming on Ethereum. This is the cap, guys. I don't think for today, potentially tomorrow, we're going to go much higher. Bitcoin seems a little bit too overbought. The other coins seem to be needing some consolidation. Ethereum has a downtrend now that we just caught on to, and I think it's going to consolidate out. So we're going to see whether or not this pans out, plays into here, and we could potentially buy in once this high-low MMA catches up, and it could, potentially inject some volume into Ethereum and shoot us up. And when that happens, we'll be right here to chart it and give you guys some feedback. Lastly, Bitcoin Cash. So I did kind of draw an ascending wedge once again with Bitcoin Cash, similar to what I did with Litecoin. You can see it was very difficult to draw, but for the most part, this is how it was trading. And you can see how it's currently, we were using it as a bottom support and the top was a resistance. And then it flip-flopped when we broke through. We started to use that as a support once again. So there is also a channel to take notice of within Bitcoin Cash. We were looking for a retest of this purple uptrend before we bought back in. This would have been that opportunity right here, buying in at 230. We'd already be at almost $300 with Bitcoin Cash, so about $70 per coin, which is quite a bit of money, actually, if you ask me. If you bought in at freaking 230 and you sold at 300, $70 per coin, you would make a couple $100 if you, depending on what you put in. So this was a really good buying opportunity, easily called, but these now indicate that the line is certain. Unfortunately, if we didn't buy in last time, now the lines are certain. So what that means is next time we see Bitcoin Cash come like this, what are we doing? Makes sense. Or if we see it go like this, which is what I'm expecting it to do, we buy in. Otherwise, we always dollar cost average. We do not throw it all in. We're not doing a Hail Mary. We dollar cost average down. So obviously, the first one would be right here, 10%. Fall down here, another 20%. That'll be 30% in. We make some profit. Otherwise, guys, that's going to sum up today's episode to the cryptocurrency review and analysis, I guess. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Peace.